Hello, how are you? You're doing excellent? That's fantastic. What is today's date? Well, today's date, the date of the recording of this video is October 21st, 2021. And what's my name? My name is Profe Kyle, exactly. And who is your favorite English teacher? Me? Oh, what a good choice. And I'm speaking in English because I want you to get better at English. And the best way to get better at English is to be exposed to English, to listen to English, to help your brain keep on advancing in English. For me, it makes sense. Does it make sense to you? Fantastic. We are both on the same page. And where am I right now? I am in Mexico City, and I am in the neighborhood of Coyoacán, which is the neighborhood of Frida Kahlo. And I think almost all Latinos know who Frida Kahlo is, especially young Latina women. They love Frida Kahlo. And in today's Simple English video, I want to tell you about a trip I made in southern Mexico City. As you may already know, I love to see how people actually live. I'm not a very good tourist. I don't like to go to regular tourist places. I like to go to where the people go, to where the people go to hang out, where the people go to eat. Oh, excuse me, I have a message from WhatsApp. Let me turn off my WhatsApp because I don't want any interruptions. I'll talk to you later. So where was I? Yes, I am not a good tourist. I prefer to experience how people actually live. That's why I learned Spanish, because if I want to get to know Latinos, what language do I have to learn? Well, Portuguese too, and I am learning Portuguese, but for now, Spanish. Yeah, most Latinos, besides the Brazilians, they speak Spanish. That's why I learned Spanish. So last, I think Saturday or Friday, I can't remember. Last Saturday or Friday, I decided to take a trip to some neighborhoods which aren't very popular with tourists, but are somewhat popular with people who live in Mexico City. I want to visit San Angel and Tlalpan. I don't know if I said that right. I'm pretty sure Tlalpan is a Nahuatl word, and I do not know how to speak Nahuatl. Do you know how to speak Nahuatl? Well, if you do, tell me down below in the comments. So, I decided to take a trip to these two neighborhoods. But of course, these neighborhoods are kind of far away from Coyoacán. San Angel is not very far away, but Tlalpan is very far away. So let me tell you about how I made my journey. But one second, I forgot one thing. Let's take a time out. I need to grab something. Time in. Now, I'm in Mexico City, and the best way to get around Mexico City is not by car. No. Driving by car in Mexico City is a bad idea. It's a stupid idea to get around by car in Mexico City. The best way to get around Mexico City is using the very extensive metro system. And this is my Metro card. And with my Metro card, I can use the subway, I can use the public bicycles, I can use the buses, I can use the gondola system. What else can I use? Ah, that's more or less all of it. So on this card, I have a yearly membership, a 1-year membership for the bicycles. But in order to take a bus or a subway, I need to fill this card up with money, with Mexican pesos. So the day of my short journey to the neighborhoods in Mexico City, the first thing that I did was go to the nearest metro station. So I went to the metro station and I went down the escalator and I filled up my metro card with pesos. Now, I wasn't going to use the metro system right away because San Angel, like I told you, is pretty close to Coyoacan. And many people, from what I read online, say that San Angel is like a rich man's Coyoacan. I'm not too sure. So I walked from the metro, from Coyoacan to San Angel. And actually, I was really impressed. Some of the neighborhoods in the San Angel area were beautiful. Very colonial, can I say colonial architecture? I say colonial architecture and big colonial mansions. Now, you can have your opinions about the rich, but at least the rich people in this neighborhood have good taste, because many modern mansions are incredibly ugly. Don't you agree? Exactly. But these classical mansions, these colonial mansions were beautiful. There it is, beautiful. And a very peaceful neighborhood. It was very quiet. I really liked it. So I walked through this residential colonial neighborhood and then I went to a park. I believe the park was called Parque Bombilla. Parque Bombilla was a very beautiful park and it had an incredible monument in the middle. And the monument, I believe, was Art Deco style. And ooh, I love the Art Deco style. After going through the park, I kept on walking to get to the center, the main San Angel area. And I walked a few blocks, I walked, and I arrived. And I was a little bit disappointed. It was very, very small. I was expecting it to be a lot bigger neighborhood, but for me it seemed like it was only 5 blocks of neighborhood. It was beautiful in some parts, but it seemed very small. So I didn't spend too much time there because there wasn't that much to look at. I do believe there was a museum with mummies inside of it in that neighborhood, but I got there at about 11 in the morning and the museum didn't open till noon and I didn't want to wait. So I left the neighborhood and I went to the nearest bus station. I can't remember what these bus stations are called in Mexico City, but I went to one and I had to use my Metro card. I swiped it at the toll, what would I call that? The ticket booth? I'll say ticket booth for now, the turnstile, and I waited for my bus. Now, buses in Latin America can be very full. That's why I only like to travel by buses in Latin America, by public transport in Latin America when it isn't rush hour. And this wasn't rush hour, so luckily there wasn't that many people on the bus. And the bus ride wasn't too eventful. Only one strange thing happened. A short, old Mexican lady, she pinched my abdomen and said some random words in a very Mexican dialect that I couldn't understand. I think she said something like pachoncha. ¿Qué hiciste con mi pachoncha? Something Spanish like that. I didn't understand what she was talking about. She seemed a little bit crazy. She seemed too old to be doing drugs, but She was acting like a person that was doing drugs. So the trip from San Angel to Tlalpan took about, I don't know, 20 minutes. Yeah, maybe 20 minutes. It wasn't too far. And I got off the bus station in Tlalpan and I walked. I walked probably 5 blocks. And I would say Tlalpan was much bigger and much more impressive than San Angel. So if you're visiting Mexico City, you can probably skip San Angel. Tlalpan is much more interesting. And I walked quickly around Tlalpan to see what it was like. It was nice. And then I found the market, the Tlalpan Mercado. And I went inside because I was hungry. It was about lunchtime. And at lunchtime, I'm usually hungry. Are you usually hungry at lunchtime? I bet you are. So I went into the market, I walked around quickly, and I found a place that had pozole. Pozole is one of my favorite soups in the world. It's a Mexican soup. It has corn, it has meat, usually chicken and pork. What else does it have? I think it has some more things, but again, I don't really know. I just eat it. If you know what's in pozole, you can tell me down below. So I ordered some pozole and I ordered an orange juice to get my vitamin C. I must keep my immune system strong. And I ate that. I think in total, I think it cost me 115 pesos, which was, for me, more expensive than usual, for me. But I paid the people. They were very nice. I was the only one eating pozole at the time. Oh yeah, it was Friday. I went there on Friday, so there really wasn't that many people there. Usually Tlalpan has more tourists on Saturday and Sunday, so there was hardly anybody there. And I noticed that they were selling lots of Day of the Dead stuff. Day of the Dead is a very important holiday festival in Mexico. And right now in the supermarkets and the markets, they are selling a lot of decorations, a lot of food that has to do with Day of the Dead. So for me, that was really cool. The decorations for Day of the Dead seem very interesting to me. Maybe the gringo decorations for Halloween seem interesting for you. For me, they seem normal. But for me, the Day of the Dead decorations and the food was really cool. After I ate, I left the market. I walked around a bit more. I went to one bookstore to see if they had any interesting or unique books, but I didn't see anything that interested me. So from there, I walked back to the bus station and I got on the bus. I waited quite a while. I think I waited about 15 minutes for a bus to come. And when it did come, it was packed with people. There were so many people in the bus. And for me, it wasn't rush hour. I believe it was only 3 p.m. Maybe it's always that busy, or maybe the bus hadn't come in a while. That's why it was so packed, but there was a lot of people. And actually, it was interesting for me because in Mexico City, half of the subway or part of the subway, part of the buses are reserved only for women, and then the rest of the subway is for men and women. So I didn't know this. I got on the bus. Luckily, I was in the part of the bus where men were allowed, but while I was in the bus, I realized that I was right on the border of the part of the only female part. For me, it was kind of funny. It would have been a silly mistake if me, a man, would have entered the part that was only for women. But yeah, for me, very interesting to see all women in the front of the bus. I guess good for them, they feel safer. Excellent. So the bus took me to the closest bus station to Coyoacan. I walked out and I walked back to my Airbnb. In between the bus station and my Airbnb, there were a few bookstores. I entered the bookstores to see if they had any interesting books. The bookstores were very big, but I didn't find any books that interested me. For that reason, I didn't stay very long. I left and I returned to my Airbnb. I thought about going to another part of Mexico City, but my feet were really tired and really sore. So I just went back home to rest and to relax. For me, it was the best decision. And that was my trip to San Angel and Tlalpan. I hope you enjoy listening to me speak in English. Oh, I forgot to tell you, there are subtitles in Spanish and English, so if you want a little bit of help, you can turn on the subtitles. Obviously, this is the end of the video. Too late to tell you, but of course, you can go back to the beginning and turn on the subtitles if you really want to understand everything that I said. And that was my journey. Have you ever been to Tlalpan, San Angel, Mexico City? Tell me, what was your experience like? And would you like to visit Mexico City or one of its neighborhoods like Coyoacan, San Angel, or Tlalpan? Tell me down below, please. And that's it for now. Thank you for being a fantastic student. Your English is improving incredibly, and I'll see you in the next simple English video, my dear, dear student.